Hey, what's going on everybody, and a warm welcome back to the Whiskey Cove. And on today's episode, we look at 7 bourbons and whiskeys that I'm just really into drinking right now. You know the drill, run that video. Alright then folks, welcome back to another new and exciting episode of the Whiskey Cove. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I know we've had a lot of subscribers lately. You guys are really enjoying this unique and creative content that I'm putting out. We'll try to keep up with some of that stuff as well and kind of like some of these store hauls and blend that into some of the excellent content we're doing as well. Some housekeeping stuff, as you might have noticed, we have a different shot today kind of. We have more of a central shot. So I unhinged my bar from the floor and the wall, dragged it centrally, so we have a more of a symmetrical shot. So hopefully for viewing pleasure and experience, you're really enjoying that right now. We've also upped our mic game, not that that was an issue before, but we spent a little bit of money on some mics to try and get some wireless quality mics. So hopefully that's coming through to the screen for you there as well. Also, you might see a couple new more graphics and one more thing as well. If you're not following us on Instagram at The Whiskey Cove, please do so, because we're going to start posting updates. We're building a website here, which I'm really excited about and thrilled about. It's nearly finished, so we'll be posting it probably around about the 1,000 subscriber mark, if I can get there, of course. So I think that would be a cool thing to kick things off with around then. So keep an eye out for that, and like I said, we'll post some updates to Instagram there. That being said, let's get into today's video, and these are 7 bourbons and whiskeys that I'm just pretty into right now. And number 1 is what I have in my glass right now, and that is Maker's Mark BRT02. So since doing the whiskey review and the whiskey blind barrel for Maker's Mark for this, I just can't really keep away from this bottle. Like the toasted kind of, it reminds me of a toasted whiskey, and it has this like beautiful kind of maple wood, kind of like a maple syrup, like lathered on some wood. And it definitely has some like cherry, bubblegum, and some caramel as well, and has a really like nut presence to it as well. So definitely in kind of like the toasted or double oaked wood category. So if you haven't already got that and you're into kind of like toasted or double oaks, definitely pick this up. It's becoming more available across nationwide. Still, you might find some difficulty in getting it, but don't pay over $65. I would just stick to MSRP on this, because if you can't find it right now, likelihood is it'll probably make its way to you in the next month or so. So it was the Maker's Mark BRT02. So next up we have New Riff malted straight, Kentucky straight malted rye. So this is made with 100% malted rye, but it's very drinkable even if you don't like rye. Anytime I do like a blind tasting and my wife pours me this, I automatically always think that this is a bourbon. And if you want to see how that unfolds, go back to Flying Blind episode 1, because this tripped me up again, because I always think that this bottle of whiskey is a bourbon, because I just don't get too many of those rye spice notes. Coming in at 50% alcohol, 100 proof. Distribution on it is not great for the most part. If you're in Kentucky, Indianapolis, around those central states, you're probably going to be able to pick this up for MSRP. I was lucky enough that I was able to get this from a friend who was traveling out there. I think I paid about $60 for it, but I think it's still phenomenal value for money. And even though it does has a 6-year-old age statement on it, you don't get any youthful notes as well. You know, it's generally around 6 years, those youthful notes generally drop off from whiskey, and there's nothing like that at all in this whiskey. Probably my favorite new Riff release to date. I haven't tried many, I've probably tried about 4, but nevertheless, this is definitely right up there. Also sour mash as well. That was bottle number 2. So bottle number 3, kind of staying, no, we're not going to stay with the Rye family just yet. We're going to go to Old Barton, and we're going to go to 1792, aged 12 years. So I just can't stop nosing this whiskey, and I don't know what it is. It's like everything great about 1792 in a bottle. You have that age presence. It kind of reminds me of Weller 12 a little bit. If you can't get Weller 12 and this is available, I think this is a fantastic alternative for that. But I know sometimes this can be a difficult bottle to find as well. Generally MSRP on this guy's probably about $70. And you just got like beautiful vanilla, red fruit, kind of like some red berries there as well. Maybe like a touch of coffee. And just like I said, a really nice oak backbone presence to this whiskey as well. I think this whiskey bottle is probably going to be finished off in the next week or so. I think I may or may not have a backup. I need to look at this old spreadsheet here. However, if you're able to get this, definitely get it. And I think this is a really great substitute for the Weller 12 as well. Out of everybody on this list, this whiskey and another one that I can't get enough of. All of them I can't get enough of right now, but this one definitely stands out. So that was number 3. Number 4 on this list, and now we're going back down to the rye train. And this is a single barrel Sagamore Spirit Rye pick. This is coming in at 55% alcohol or 110 proof. This is picked by or hand bottled for Dave Co Beer, Wine and Spirits, the one that we did the store haul in person on. Again, this is like a pick, so it's very unique. You know, what you pick up, if you pick up a single barrel version of this, is not going to be exactly what's in this bottle. It's going to be close, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be exact. And I just love this guy. I actually get some really interesting, like almost like Indian spices in this. I definitely get some cardamom and maybe like a touch of cumin, which is just insane. But I feel like when you have like a proper rye, which I feel like what this is, you get all of these sorts of crazy flavors that generally kind of come out as well. It's like a couple of savory flavors there as well. And then there is definitely almost like, I want to say black licorice, but I don't particularly like black licorice, but it definitely has some of those sort of, maybe like an aniseed vibe there, not overpowering, definitely laid in there. So if you smell it straight away, you're probably not going to pick that aniseed note up, but it's definitely there. And it makes for this really unique and pleasant palate. This is aged 6 years as well. It's kind of a bit of a theme with the ryes so far, that they're aged 6 years. That's pretty much a pretty sweet spot for ryes as well. So if you're able to get this, I think this run me at about $50 to $60, so not much. You're getting almost like a batch strength or cask proof of 55 ABV, and the nose is fantastic. It's very unique. If you like ryes, I think it's a really great alternative to maybe some of like the more mainstream like spearminty ryes. So you need to get this guy if you haven't already, and this is another whiskey that I'm just super into right now. So that was 4, and we have 3 left. So this next bottle, when I first picked it up, I cracked it straight away, I opened it, I drank it, and I was not impressed whatsoever. A month went by, and then I came back to the bottle, I nosed it, and I was just blown away. I think this has got to be in top 5 of some of the bottles that I've got that was so bad and then became so good. And that is Elijah Craig 18. I know that some folks out there like to say that this bottle of whiskey is kind of over oaked, and I could potentially see that. It is an 18-year product, so it's definitely getting up there for a bourbon. If we take a nose here. Again, you know, I do get this like really nice maraschino cherry front and center, and then that is married with some stronger oak notes, but not bitter oak notes. It's more of like a sweeter, like aged oak note. I wouldn't say I'm getting any like dusty rick house kind of note there as well. Sometimes from some whiskeys that are over oaked, maybe I'll get this kind of like dusty, damp barrel type of note. For me, it's not in this. It's just a beautiful and really inviting nose. I'm not getting any peanut on this, which is awesome because I don't particularly like that peanut note in Elijah Craig. This is a single barrel, so again, you know, the bottle I have here might be different to the one you have there. Bottled on 7/7/21, and this is barrel number 5443. And this is coming in at 45% alcohol by volume. One of the only drawbacks with this whiskey, it is an 18-year-old whiskey, so you're going to pay a premium for that. And I think I paid around about $160. I do have a backup for this, which is awesome. So I think sometime in the next couple of months, this guy's going to go as well. Definitely an expensive bottle. I don't particularly like spending that much money on bottles of whiskey if I can help it. However, I think this just about justified that price tag for me. And again, just a whiskey that I just can't stay away from right now. So that was the 5th one. So we have 2 left. For both of them, they're going to be Buffalo Trace whiskeys again. So I opened up this whiskey on a beginner's guide almost, or how to build your whiskey. 7 whiskey bottles for a beginner's collection with Ross. He was standing here. You might have watched that episode. If you don't, go back and watch it. And since I've opened up this guy, I've just non-stop been going back to it as well. And I've tried small batch a bunch of times, and I think it's just been quite a period that I haven't had it for like a good couple of months. And then we went back to it, and I was like, wow, this stuff is just it just blows you away just how good it is. Yes, it's super allocated. Yes, it's really hard to get, but if you can get them at MSRP for about $40 to $60, you're on for a winner. Definitely pick that up there. I just get like kind of like these beautiful bright vanilla frosting notes as well, and you're still getting like oak presence with this. This is a bottled in bond product as well, small batch, whatever that means, right? And then, like I said, you know, a really nice bottle, and the flavor profile on this is just phenomenal. I'm just super into it. I need to crack my single barrel that I have. That's the only single barrel I have. People keep telling me that they're like this, but on steroids, and I probably need to get into them. So that was bottle number 6, which leaves us with 1 bottle as well. So around about the time of year, this kind of time of year, winter, I like to kind of kick things up or ramp stuff up a little bit. I like to ramp it up to maybe some higher ABV whiskeys, which this is as well. This is a cask strength whiskey. Again, as this Buffalo Trace, very difficult to get a hold of, but if you can get a hold of it and you have tried it, you know exactly how good this whiskey is. Maybe a good alternative is maybe go out to some bars, because I've seen this whiskey at bars for like $9 or $11 a pour, because sometimes they'll get some in around Christmas time and just sell them from normal price. Unless you go to like a specific whiskey bar, and then they might ramp up the cost a little bit. That is, of course, the one and only Stag Junior. So I've had this bottle for a little bit of a while, but lately for the last 2 weeks probably, I've just been coming up to it. I've been nosing it so much that I just keep wanting to drink it. It's just beautiful. It does have like a touch of cinnamon there as well. I wouldn't quite say like a red hot vibe going on, but there's definitely cinnamon there as well. And it's just like, it's not molassesy quite, but it does lend to some of those flavors. It's more like a sweet burnt creme brulee note. So you get the abundance of vanilla, you get kind of the charred sugar there as well. You get the proof that cuts through it, but it's not too hot and it doesn't burn your mouth, it doesn't blow away your palate there as well. You do get some kind of like nice toasted barrel char in there as well. And I just think, guys, MSRP, if you can find it, I know, if you can find Stag Junior, right? MSRP is like 60 bucks, maybe even less than that. You don't need me to tell you that you need to pick this up if you see it for MSRP, because we already know that. We already know how fantastic this whiskey is. And I think this whiskey, or Stag in general, Stag Juniors, is just going to keep going up and up and up and up and up and up and up in price, because it's just phenomenal juice for what you're getting. So this was the last bottle. So these are these 7 bourbons and whiskeys are just the ones that I'm just super into right now. I spend most of my time, if I'm going to drink whiskey, drinking these guys. I'm just going to try and have to incorporate them into videos as much as I can to bring you content, because I really like when I drink to make videos about what I'm drinking. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to keep an eye out for our website launching soon. I will put the details in the description in videos as and when. I also will bring it back up. But super exciting times. This is kind of the direction I want to go with the channel. Keep bringing really unique and fun content for you, and just building the community and just kind of moving forward with the Whiskey Cove. And don't forget to send us an email as well. You know, the email is down below. If you have any questions or anything like that, please let us know. And as we always say on this channel, as we drink through the world's whiskeys one glass at a time. Cheers.